Beef tallow in the grocery store can be super expensive. Today we're gonna make this pure, rendered down beef tallow, great for home cosmetics, fantastic for cooking, odorless, and ready to go. We're gonna go from this raw beef fat to this pure, rendered down tallow. Let's do it. So I was gonna do about 5 pounds, but I decided just to do half of that because it's already getting filled up pretty quickly in my Instapot. So almost done here. I like to get grass-fed, grass-finished. The minerals and vitamins and nutrients in it are much more healthy. To chop it up, you could use a meat grinder, but to be honest, I didn't want to dirty something else. So if this is pre-frozen a little bit, it does help everything chop up very nicely and very quickly. And the size of the chunks don't matter much. The smaller you make it, the more efficient and fast this is going to be. And when I'm rendering down fats like this, I'm very careful not to put anything into the sink. I don't want to clog up any drains or anything. So any scraps here, I'll make sure they go into the trash. And later on in the process, all the wastewater that we're producing, I just put right over the deck, right outside. I don't want any of this stuff going into my drain. Okay, so the next step here, I'm going to add some cheap table salt. Maybe there's really no exact measurement. The purpose of the salt is to draw out the impurities from the beef fat. So add about 3-4 tablespoons here. Little less, little more, doesn't matter. And it could be real cheap table salt. This is not, the only purpose of this is to draw those impurities out of the beef sweat to make the tallow. So we can use something that's not that expensive here. Next, I'm gonna take some water and add water to the crock pot. Now the purpose of the water, as this is rendering down, this is gonna make sure that nothing burns. So this is very important. Use enough water. You're gonna actually draw this out later. So a little extra water does not hurt this at all. It actually makes everything a little bit more safe. Set your slow cooker to low and let it run for 4 to 5 hours, keeping the lid on to minimize water evaporation. Once most of the fat has melted down, I like to hit it with an immersion blender to break up the remaining chunks. This step is completely optional, but it does help release more fat, giving you a higher tallow yield in less time. Give it a few more hours, and when you come back, you'll see that almost all the fat has been melted down. Now strain everything through a mesh strainer lined with cheesecloth. What remains are the cracklings. Since we rendered this low and slow, they are still soft and not burnt. This means fewer off flavors and a cleaner, high-quality tallow. Since we'll also be using this tallow in skincare products, I want it to be as clean and pure as possible. All right, so now remember, we mix this tallow in with the beef fat and water and salt. And the purpose of this is to draw out all of the impurities. That way it's good for cooking and any kind of cosmetics or home items that you want to make. So right now this bowl is part water, salt, and tallow. And now we want to let this cool. So it's the middle of the summer here, so it's going to take a little bit longer to cool. To speed up the process, you could put it in the refrigerator to get that to harden up. So when we're done, I like to use these metal bowls because we're going to want to pop this out of here and show you the next step. So put this in something that is easy to then pop it out after. We'll explain that later on. So right now we're going to let this cool and then go on to the next step. Once the tallow has cooled and hardened, gently press it around the edges until it releases from the bowl. Lift it out, separating it from the dirty salt water that helped draw out many of the impurities. I scrape off and discard any loose bits left at the bottom, then cut the tallow into slices and return it to the slow cooker for one final purification. For this round, I add fresh water, but no salt. If any trace amounts of salt remain from the first round, I want to make sure that they're completely removed from the finished tallow. This step is much faster than the render. I let it cook on low for about an hour, just long enough to melt everything down again. Then I pour it back into a bowl for the final cooling process. There's no need to strain it this time, since all of the cracklings and solid bits were removed during the first round. Now we're in the home stretch. Set it aside and let it cool one last time. All right, so we're all done. The tallow has hardened, and we're going to take it out of the bowl. Remove the tallow again from the bowl. You'll see how much cleaner the water is on the second purification. Now we're going to thoroughly wipe down both sides with a paper towel, making sure to remove any remaining water. Moisture is the enemy of long-term storage, so we want this tallow to be as dry as possible. Taking your time here will help ensure that your tallow stays fresh and shelf stable for months to come. Now cut it into slices and get it ready for storage. All right, so now that we're cut up, we have these wonderful tallow bars ready for any kind of cosmetics or cooking or whatever you want to do. And if I want to cook with it, I'll just cut a little piece off of here, pop it in the pan, and ready to go. Again, I don't want to wrap these up in any kind of saran wrap because I want to make sure any moisture that's remaining can get off of it and evaporate. So I'm just going to take these right now, take a Pyrex and pop them in here for storage. I'm going to keep these in the refrigerator, and I can keep these in the fridge for up to a year with no problem. It's a wonderful way to render down your tallow and to keep it ready to go for a multitude of different uses in the kitchen. Thanks for watching. Join us next time on Real Plates and make yourself some good old-fashioned tallow.